Hey, it's Jeff. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about root-bound houseplants, some things to look for, how to identify it, and then what to do if you suspect that your plant is root-bound. I have two examples of my Cebu blue pothos. This is the mother plant, and these are actually cuttings from the mother plant. Probably the first thing you're going to notice are the plant is starting to get some yellow leaves. So this one, you can see it has yellow leaves all over the place. So this can be a sign of either overwatering and underwatering. That's probably one of the things that people think of first, is that it's a watering issue. And technically, yes, if a plant is root bound, you're going to have those roots encircling the pot. It's basically not going to be getting enough water and nutrients. Essentially, it'll have the same symptoms of an underwater plant. Those roots that are encircling the pot and they're just so tightly bound, they won't be able to access the water and nutrients properly. So that's why you're going to have a plant that looks really sickly. This one in particular, I did water yesterday, so that tells me that it is most likely root bound because it's not accessing or it's not obtaining the water through the soil. It's basically just draining right out through the bottom of the drain hole. It's not absorbing it in the soil because I'm assuming there's probably not going to be much soil left. It's going to be one big solid root ball. Yellow leaves shouldn't be the only thing that alerts you to a possible root bound plant. Yellow leaves can also be caused by pest issues, so just make sure that you look over your plant, make sure there's no webbing or any like thrips or scale or spider mites, that sort of thing. But also yellow leaves can be caused by lack of light. So if your plant's in a lower light area, you might have some leaves that are turning yellow. And then also just the normal aging of the plant. They may just drop a few of the older leaves, so that can be normal as well. But this one just doesn't look healthy. It's looking really droopy, so it's time to pull it out of the pot and take a look at the root system. I want to show you this one. This one is my propagated cuttings, and it looks really healthy. There's no yellow leaves or anything like that. Flip it upside down, look at the drain holes, or look at the bottom of the pot, and you can see there is a lot of roots poking out the bottom. Now, let's take a look at this one. This one might be a little bit harder because it's a fairly large cutting, but you can see there's a bunch of finer roots poking out the bottom of this one. If you have a plant in a plastic nursery pot, also just give it a good squeeze. If you can feel crunching, then most likely it is full of roots. Take it out of the pot and take a look at it. So that's what I'll be doing with this one as well. I can feel it's pretty crunchy. There's roots popping out the bottom. So I'm suspecting this is on its way to becoming root bound. So try to avoid that so it doesn't get to this point. Just keep the plant looking really healthy. So I'm going to take it out of this one, and I'm going to take this one out as well, and just kind of compare the roots. Obviously, you can't squeeze the pot if it's in terracotta. You might have to just physically remove the plant from the pot. So now that I suspect these are root bound, I'm just going to take this one out of the pot here first, the smaller propagated cuttings. Just tip it upside down. I don't even have my little work tray. Just give it a good squeeze, and it should come out of the pot. And you can see there is roots starting to encircle the bottom. So we'll definitely have to take care of this one, and I'll show you what to do here in a minute. Now let's take out the one in the larger pot here. This one I think is just going to be full of roots. So I'm taking my little butter knife, just going around the pot and just loosening up the sides of the soil. There. And look at this. This thing is a solid root ball. Definitely root bound. This should have been repotted probably a couple months ago. Now that I figured out both these plants are root bound, this one is a little less than the mother plant. There's a couple things that you can do. One, the most popular is to upsize into a little bit of a larger pot. This is the next size, which I'm going to be potting up this one in here shortly, just so that it gives the roots a larger container to search out into the soil and continue to grow and thrive. This one, I'm actually going to be doing a root prune. I've done a couple videos recently on root pruning itself, and I'll show you some examples of some plants that I've root pruned which have done really well after chopping it up as well as propagating it. So I'm going to do that one here as well. So yeah, you can repot into something larger, you can do a root prune, but also if you want, you can divide this plant, so make the overall plant a little bit smaller. So just separate it, put it in a different container, There's a couple reasons why you'd want to root prune a plant is if you're kind of limited on space like myself. I have this one on a smaller plant shelf and I don't really have the space to upsize it. Also, if you root prune, it basically stunts the growth of the plant. So if you don't want it to grow any larger, not saying that it won't grow at all, but it might take a little bit longer to, I guess, reestablish those roots and start pushing out some new growth. And also if you want it to remain in the same size pot. So that's the reason why I'm doing it today, is I want it to remain in this same size pot so that I can put it back on my plant shelf in my living room there. So I'm kind of limited on space in that area. So I'm going to do this one here first, and again, just simply take it out of the pot, measure it in its new container. I'm going to add a little bit of soil in the bottom. I'm just using a tropical plant mix. It's got some extra perlite in there. Whoops. And I even got a little bit of orchid bark, so it's a nice airy mixture. I'm just going to fill up maybe a third of the container with soil. I don't have to untangle these ones because they're not really like severely root bound, but if you want, you can just loosen them lightly. I don't want to damage the roots, but if they're starting to encircle the pot, you can just untangle them if you want. Okay, so just size it up, make sure that it remains at the same height as it was previously or in the previous container, and then just add in the soil just around the pot. Oops. So this is by far the easiest method of dealing with or fixing a root-bound plant, is just upsizing it into a larger container, giving it some fresh soil, and then giving it some water. You don't have to fertilize this after you repot it. Just make sure that you check the packaging on your soil, whatever it is you use. Most times the commercial soil brands will add fertilizer into it, so you don't actually have to do it yourself. Some are different. I know the tropical plant mix, it says it adds fertilizer for up to 3 months. Their regular potting soil, I use the Promix brand, it says it feeds a plant up to 9 months, so just be careful. If you fertilize houseplants, just make sure that it wasn't recently given fresh soil, because if you add more fertilizer, then it might just actually burn the roots, and that's another reason why you'll get yellow leaves, is because of a nutrient issue. It's receiving too much. Okay, so that's upsized into a larger pot. Looks really good. I'm just going to give it some water here, set it aside, and I'll put it back on the plant shelf. This root pruning method is a little bit more labor intensive because not only do you have to cut up the roots, but I like to prune the plant as well. You have to think of the root system. This current size root system supports this size of plant. So if you chop up the root system, you have to understand that it's probably not going to have enough roots to support this entire, like all the leaves. So that's why I like to take some cuttings off of the plant, and that's okay because I can make an entirely new plant from these cuttings. So I'm going to just kind of go down the plant here and just cut away at the vines, and then I can propagate these in water, or perlite is another method that I like to use. So there's a section right here where there's a number of leaves that are missing. I'm going to cut it back to the edge of the pot. Now, whenever you take cuttings or whenever you prune a plant, it will start to branch out from the closest node to where you made the cut, but on occasion it will start to push out branches in other areas. So if you have a plant that's getting a little bit bare on top, take some propagations, and then it will activate nodes lower or up in the pot there, so it may branch out in a number of areas, but it will eventually start to push out some new growth. So that's why I'm going to cut it back. There's again another section where it's missing a few leaves, and here as well. This plant is probably going to look horrible because of all the yellow leaves up here. I'm going to remove those, but also I'm cutting it back quite aggressively as well. You don't have to do it this much, but I'm going to cut back a lot of these leaves. That way it gives the plant a chance to reestablish its roots and then start to push out some new growth. Okay, I've chopped off a lot of the stems. It's a nice manageable sized plant right now, and I'm just going to take all these yellow leaves off, just kind of pull them off. That way it freshens this plant up. And if I have to, I might cut back these stems a little bit more as well if these stems are really bare. If you have a plant that looks like this is basically you're saving it, because if you didn't repot it, essentially it would just eventually completely die. The amazing thing about plants is how resilient they are. Like, this was severely root bound. I'll provide some updates down the road, but I have complete confidence this plant will definitely bounce back with no issues at all. Okay, so there's a couple areas where I've removed the leaves, and you can see there is just a bare stem. So I'm just going to cut that back to the next healthiest leaf like this, and you should get a new stem popping out from this area right here. Okay, so again, take the plant out of the pot. I typically only remove about 1/3 of the root ball. So this is super spongy. It is all roots. I'm going to take maybe a little bit more, 1/3 of the roots, and I'm just going to use my utility knife just to make a nice clean cut. I'm not using pruning shears because I don't want like many jagged cuts, and just like in the other videos, you get a pretty crazy root patty. I think it's pretty funny. This is just all roots. There's barely any soil in there anymore, so this just goes to show you there is not much medium or soil in here for moisture to remain in, and for those roots to utilize that. It's all roots. There's no soil in there. Okay, so now I'm going to add some soil in the bottom of the pot, and then I'm going to seat this a little bit lower, just because a lot of the stems, they're starting to poke out through the top of the soil, and that can be from watering on the top. It basically just flushes some soil off. I like to take these outside a lot of the times as well and use the hose to flush it off, so I'm probably just blasting off some of the soil from the top. So I'm going to seat that just a little bit lower, and I might actually, I'm going to loosen up a little bit of the soil here on the sides. Just making a complete mess, but I'll do over this. Just loosen that up a bit. There, this is super crunchy. This is super dry. If you could feel it, yeah, not good. Okay, there, now I can seat it a little bit lower. Now just do the same thing with the other pot, just fill in some soil at the bottom. I'm just gonna dump it in and size it up. Just going to squish that down. I'm going to take a little bit more out. And there, so you can see it's seated a little bit lower in the pot. And now I'm just going to dump soil on top. There's a big root sticking out. I'm just going to dump it all over. And I like to just shake the pot, that way all the soil just kind of settles down around the stems. And I'll show you, like I said, an example here of some previous plants that I've root pruned, and just how well they've done and how well they've responded. Now I'm going to thoroughly water these guys, give them some moisture in the soil, let them soak up, let them heal. Let the roots heal, let them repair, but here is the finished product. Here's two examples of plants that I've recently pruned. This golden pothos basically had the same issues with the as the Cebu blue, where it was starting to lose a lot of leaves on the top. It was just looking really droopy. So I cut it back almost completely to the soil line. I pruned half of the root system, and you can see it is now responding very nicely. It's getting new growth everywhere, new leaves. It's basically saved and rejuvenated this plant. This is my global green pothos that had a number of kind of rough looking leaves. It was severely root bound as well. I took it out of the pot, chopped it up, and I propagated some of the leaves for myself to make an entirely new pot. But here's what I was talking about. You can see this is where I made the prune, and it is starting to branch out in a number of areas here as well. Made the prune right there, and it's getting 2 branches or 2 new stems, and right there as well. Did a prune right there, it's getting a new branch. Got some branches in other spots as well throughout this plant. So You may think that you are killing the plant, but you're actually doing quite the opposite. You're establishing a stronger root system with healthy new growth. So don't be scared to prune. Sometimes I do it a little bit more aggressively than what needs to be done, but that's just to showcase how much you can literally beat up these plants and they respond really well. So if you do light pruning as well as maybe root prune a third of the root system, then you should be good. I like to take it to its limits. Cut the plant up basically right to the soil line, prune off half the roots, and everything responds really well. From that larger pot of pothos, this is the propagated, or the cuttings that I had propagated to make an entirely new plant. And now I have all of these Cebu Blue or Cebu Blue pothos. To do the same, I'm going to chop these up, stick them in water, and that way I can make an entirely new pot of plant Cebu Blue from these cuttings. And then, yeah, that's how you make new plants from the plants that you have in your collection. Take single node, single leaf cuttings, root them in water, and then when they are rooted enough to be repotted in soil, basically clump them together, stick them in a pot. These are all single node, single leaf cuttings, and eventually they will start to push out their own new vines. So that's how you get nice full pots of pothos or any vining type plant from single node, single leaf cuttings. Here are the freshly repotted and watered Cebu Blue pothos. Definitely give them some time to repair themselves, and I think probably in about a week or so they should start to perk back up. So just give them time. They may decide to dump a few more leaves, but that can be normal as well. So I think that's going to be pretty much it for this video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave it down below in the comment section. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate the support. Take care, everyone. Bye.